Hello. Sorry for the delay, folks. Welcome to Speed Gaming Live 2020, or welcome back, rather. We've got another Ocarina Time randomizer seed for you. I'm August 40th, joined by Ella Gachua. There are a little bit of technical difficulties behind the scenes, in case you haven't noticed. On the right-hand side of the screen, Namaha, 20 minutes ago, back in time, as they are racing on a delay, had a little bit of issues going live, so we're going to have the first 15 or so minutes of Gavaroni, and then hopefully Namaha will be joining us. Looks like Gavaroni didn't get anything. What do we got here?
We got a bomb bag and a slingshot, and actually it's really interesting right off the bat, because when you get the bomb bag in Mido's house, it opens up a lot of variety in openers. So I'll be interested to see what Gavaroni does right off the bat.
Whew, alrighty. Thanks, Ella Gachua, for bailing me out there. Alright, and we will assume that, if anything, Namaha's gonna skip that slingshot. Probably not gonna skip that bomb bag, so probably safe to mark that down.
Yeah, it's actually a little subtle...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little subtle variant on his opener. I think Gav wanted to get the rupees, because he's probably going to do the 3 grotto opener and needs 10 rupees for the salesman. And so if you don't get them in Mido's house, but you get bombs, something you can do is check the Kokiri sword chest to just kind of get rupees along the way. I mean, he actually got a slingshot, which is even better. So it's going to be interesting to see. Right now, he's either going to head for the forest grotto, or he's going to continue down to the open grotto. And it looks like he's just going to do the open grotto, so not opting to use that early bomb bag.
Yeah, I think I was going with you on that alternate route.
I'm wrong. He's going to the forest grotto. So yeah, we got. So it was a quick adjustment to his route, getting that those extra rupees from the Kokiri sword chest, and he's going to be doing the Schrodinger's chain into market coming up soon. So that's kind of a high pressure trick to try right off the bat. You really don't want to fail that on restream, otherwise you're going to be going for a little swim, and that's a really terrible way to race.
Yeah, an alternate thing you could choose to do is go up through the valley, do some shell fishing, but you would need more money.
He's got 24. He's got enough. Oh, I see. If he spends the 10 on the scrub, no, you're right. You could bomb the plants and probably pick up rupees, but I have a feeling he's going to go for the Schrodinger's train. It's considered to be like the best opener if you get a bomb bag early. It's just super efficient.
All right, so that first hint was Lost Woods Way of the Hero. Did you happen to catch that second one? It was the second Way of the Hero.
Both Lost Woods Way of the Hero, so kind of a funny start.
Oh, okay. We'll keep our eyes peeled for number 3 if it shows up.
So the reason that this opener is so good is you have to wait to... whoa, Gav, where are you going? Oh, Gav's going Valley. Okay, never mind. So forget what I'm saying. He's going the safe route.
There he is. Now, hopefully you're gonna pick up 6 extra rupees along the way. Although he might not choose to do fishing. You never know.
Yeah, he could go from Valley just straight to the Owl. I'm curious. I don't know if Gav plays on VC or emulator, but I do know that the timing for Schrodinger's chain is very, very tight on VC to actually load the chain. And his movement was a little funky trying to go up to the castle, so he may have just aborted mission and said, I'm not going to risk it and have the chance of moding. I'll just do it the safe route, and hopefully Garuda Valley won't show up barren in the Temple of Time.
I do recall last year he was playing on an emulator.
it's pretty interesting. There's like a lot of very subtle technical things with that opener that their early bomb bag brings up, and so sometimes people just haven't practiced that, or especially in an important race like this, where Gav knows that he's up against Namaha, who's a really good runner. It's just you just don't want to start in the moat. It's going to tilt you for the rest of the race, and better safe than sorry. Also, shield, nice shield. Never buy one.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of our contestant in black, Namaha, he's the runner-up from last year's tournament. So both these racers know what's in store for them.
Did you see Gav's reaction to that? That's a Garuda Valley foolish hint in Garuda Valley. Hilarious.
Yeah, very nice to find after you check 2 out of 3 hints.
I mean, that's the danger. Unfortunately, well, in some ways, fortunately, the other dupe of that hint has a low probability of being in Temple of Time now. Now that we found one, so it's still possible that Namaha could end up checking it, and Fire Temple Way of the hero. So, some good hits early on.
And not choosing to walk around the lake, not gonna grab those hints. Yesterday, he was bailed out by skipping the Gokiri sword chest and finding a barren forest. But with that barren valley hint, opted to farm up some money.
Yeah, and so it's nice to do child fishing here because you really want to get to the castle right before it turns night, so that you can route in a dog lady and then also start your regular 3-song route. So he has a lot of daylight to burn, and doing child fishing. Once he's done with that, by the time he loops all the way back around to the owl and heads to the market, it's going to be around that time. So it's pretty common if you do this route to loop in child fishing, although this is definitely not a meta opener, I would say. It's just safe.
Yep, it's one of those plays that I like to see. You know, you get an item and it kind of throws a wrench into your ideal route that you're going to open up with, and Gavaroni's shown his adaptability right here.
Yeah, it's just the reason that this route ended up not being meta is really what we saw here. If Garuda Valley ends up getting hinted foolish in like Temple of Time or somewhere along like the 3-song opener hints, it just feels feels terrible. And you end up losing a lot of time to an opponent who's going to do a more meta opener.
Yep, and that ice trap also going to cost a little bit of time.
Fortunately, ice traps are going away in Season 4.
Yep, stay tuned, folks. Season 4 just around the corner over on Zelda Speedruns. But we're hyped here for this tournament here. Cash prize of over $2,000. Winner takes home about 1,000 of that. I know you got your eyes set on the prize.
Yeah, I'm hoping to improve on my performance last year. I think I got like top 8. But I don't remember what Gav finished last time. He was either top 8 or top 4. So this is a pretty high-powered matchup for the group stage. And this particular group, Group D, appropriately the Group of Death, has 3 runners that are all, I think, most people would consider them to be pretty top-tier runners. And if any of them falter at all, they could find themselves in the play-in match for the 4th-place group finisher. So all of these matches are going to be very competitive in Group D, and it's kind of high pressure.
Yep. Gavaroni and Dylan being co-op partners in the usual co-op weeklies and all that good fun. So those matches I find exceptionally fun to watch and commentate when the racers know their opponents so very well.
That's something to look forward to when we get to the bracket stage, because a lot of the top runners in this tournament really do know each other well. and a lot of us have very distinctive play styles, and so there could be some very interesting metagaming going on as we get into like the quarterfinals or so, and we get pretty condensed here.
Yeah, absolutely. I sure hope so. So other than that, Bomb Bag and Mido's house, pretty dry start thus far. So we got $5 on Bomb Chew Bowling number 1. Gavaroni bringing a little dog friend with him. Always more fun to bowl with friends.
It's always frustrating with that dog because he tends to get in the way when you're trying to bomb the shopkeeper. Oh no!
Yep.
That's the other GV Foolish in Temple of Time. That is like the worst feeling. So yeah, that's case in point as to why people don't go GV before market anymore. Well, at least in season 3. It's all different in season 4. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, and who knows what Gavaroni's opponent Namaha did. We'll have to wait until the post-race interview to figure out if he dodged that or not. Maybe we can deduce it from his location.
Yeah, we should be able to figure it out based on the timing and where he's at. Because the openers, there's not too much divergence beyond just a 3-song or early adult. But that was Zora Domain Way of the Hero, so that's, I believe that is our 3rd Way of the Hero, and we've got some pretty interesting locations. Domain, oh, and 1500 is a scale, so some pretty good information coming out so far.
Yeah, so far we have, what is it, the Fire Temple, Zora's Domain, and the Lost Woods is our Way of the Hero hints.
Yep.
Anyone unfamiliar with the term Way of the Hero, that means there is something logically required to beat the seed in that location. That is not on an always hint. There's Way of the Hero hints, there's Foolish hints, which mean there's nothing in that area. Always hints, hints that you're always going to get every seed, assuming the hints are on and all that. And sometimes hints, which are a list of checks, and a handful of them are chosen each seed. So there's no guarantee that you're always going to get them. And no Deku Sticks. Gavaroni gonna push both these boxes.
So I think from here, Gav's probably just going to be doing standard 3-song. He's going to get Sari's song here, and we'll kind of have our standard Lon Lon and Deku Tree, and then Lost Woods, and go adult, because there's not much other stuff to check in child. He's going to get some rupees, and probably check the Boulder of Destiny, as we like to call it, around the corner. There he goes. But yeah, pretty standard stuff, other than the GV opener.
Nothing. That answers some concerns in chat. We should have Namaha up in about 5 minutes.
So Gav just got the best hint in the game. Chickens are dead, so Kuiper is safe, at least today. But also finding a bow in that grotto up there, so pretty nice find. Saves a lot of time.
Yeah, very nice find. One of our absolutely required items, no matter what kind of settings you're playing. I guess with the exception of Triforce Hunt. didn't quite catch what was in the Tektite Grotto there.
I think it was just a bomb refill.
Okay. Nothing important so far here in Hyrule Field. One check remaining, that being the Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, when you get the early bomb bag, it is nice to just kind of go around and peek all the grottos. Coming back to them later on is a little bit inefficient, so sometimes if you see something valuable in ATZ Grotto, or if you get something in like the Forest Grotto, checking that early is going to save you a lot of time, because if you don't, it ends up being one of the last places that you end up checking in your route, because it just takes so much time to get there. So even though Gavaroni hasn't really fished up anything too valuable yet, besides that bow, it's still just nice to have it cleared and off the table, knowing that your opponent is likely going to have to check all of them too at some point. Looks like Minuet is in Lon Lon, so that's going to probably change the route a little bit. Gab probably going to do Lost Woods before Deku. It's just a little more efficient that way if you get Minuet early. Okay, it looks like Gab has hit his pause, so this is where we discovered the Namaha stream issue. So I think we're going to have a short pause of the action on stream, and hopefully by the time this is done, we will have 2 racers on stream.
Yep, absolutely. That is the hope. Fingers are crossed. But while we wait, anyone just joining us, not sure what the heck's going on here, we're right at the start of Speed Gaming Live 2020. We've got 16, no, yeah, right? 14 or 16. Someone in chat correct me. It's either 14 or 16 tournaments going on within the next week or so. Over 600 matches going on. All sorts of fun stuff, randomizers, speed runs. And getting a confirmation in the Discord that the pause will last 5 minutes. And yeah, hopefully that will bring Namaha up on the stream.
All right, chat. So here's the game. I want to see some guesses about what zone Namaha is going to be in when his stream pops up.
Yeah, so if he skips Gerudo Valley, my guess would be he's either in the Deku Tree or the Lost Woods. Could have gone early adult though.
Yeah, it could be early adult. And with that bomb bag, some people will go early adult and do Dodongo's Cavern, so he could be there potentially.
Yep, go early adult, check the pedestal, check what's required. I don't think we'd mentioned that. The requirements for these settings, the 3 spiritual stones open up Ganon's castle. The Shadow and the Spirit Medallion give you Ganon's boss key, so that'll allow you to go up and into the final boss fight. That's in an attempt to see a little bit more of Ganon's castle. Unfortunately, not a whole lot going on through these races. Though I believe, Elgatua, you had an exception to that the other night.
What was that? Sorry?
I was saying you saw a little bit more of Ganon's castle than usual the other night.
Well, I mean, I saw a little bit more of Ganon's castle today. I had my Go mode and light trial for my race earlier. That was pretty bad. And
earlier today.
Yeah, that was the one that ended an hour ago. So I've had 2 races, and I think my total completion time for my seeds has been a combined like 7 hours 10 minutes. So that should tell you a lot about the garbage that I've been getting.
Yeah, the seed rollers haven't been very nice.
Zeph and I had a monster last night, which had a Argo mode on light medallion Shadow Temple on Bongo, and just goes to show you that you can take the stone out of Shadow, but it's still going to find a way.
These are just so much fun. That's why SpeedGaming is doing this whole day dedicated a lot to randomizers. So we've got Zelda 1, Zelda 3, Zelda 5, aka Ocarina of Time. There's some Final Fantasy randos going on, Super Mario Brothers 3. There's the combo randomizer, Super Metroid and Zelda 3.
Instead of waiting the full like 20 minutes for Namaha's stream to go live, we're just gonna go and restart. So
that was someone talking to me for a second. I got really confused.
I was worried that we had like feedbacked someone on stream.
Okay, so that was our tournament admin informing Gavaroni what's going on. Yeah, that was I was like, wait, who's talking? I didn't hear the little ding that someone jumped in the Discord call.
Sounds like there was a little bit of shenanigans on Restream, but I don't think it was us.
But yeah, unfortunately, as soon as Gavaroni unpauses, we'll have to wait another 20 minutes before we see Namaha, at least according to our restreamer behind the scenes here.
No, I think he should be up, because if he restarted his stream like 20 minutes ago, then they should be live as soon as Gav unpauses, hopefully.
I think there might be some shenanigans regarding the 20-minute delay.
Uh-oh. All right, well, that's why they don't let me make the announcements.
And that's why they encourage all the racers locally record.
So let's just all cross our fingers and pray to the rando gods that Namaha's stream pops up here in the next minute, because I think it's going to be around the next minute.
It should be
we see Gav
countdown.
So maybe the restreamer can refresh and hopefully Namaha will show up. Unfortunately, he's not live on Twitch right now.
On the race time, yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, I'm guessing because the delay is set, we're going to get another 20 minutes. So he should be back up at about 43 minutes in. But hey, it gives everyone more time to play your guessing game and so many more possibilities as to where he's going to be when he finally does pop up.
Sounds like there's some more potential technical issues being discussed in the race channel. So looks like Gav's going to continue, and hopefully we'll get you Namaha's POV as soon as possible, but doing our best to do what we can. It's the difficulties of online tournaments. We can't be in person this year, but having it is better than not having it, so do our best.
Yeah, speaking of having it, I did not catch what Gavaroni just picked up in the Sacred Forest Meadow.
I missed the song, but I saw SFM Way of the Hero and Bigoron Hint Dead.
Yeah. Do we know our starting medallion in stone?
I do not.
Which song did we get in the castle? So many questions.
So we got Sorry is in the castle.
Here,
we got
quickly.
Nocturne here in SFM. So looks like Shadow Temple probably going to be on the docket for today.
Thank you, chat.
Oh, and surprise Dins.
That's an interesting find early on.
So they just put the entire Shadow Kit in SFM apparently. And now Gavaroni is going to be working on that Way of the Hero Lost Woods, so probably going to see something else pop up in the next minute or so.
Yep, really nothing exclusively adult. And with that slingshot, he can do just about everything, minus those masks. Answer a question in chat. Regular settings, not quite. 3 spiritual stones get you into Ganon's castle. Shadow and the Spirit Medallion get you Ganon's castle's boss key. Otherwise, they are racing under the standard rule set, mostly glitchless. And we're looking to be here about 2.5 to 3-ish hours. Sorry.
Emphasis on the ish. Looks like we had a dead skull mask hint. Still haven't found that Way of the Hero item yet, so should be coming soon because you can do Skull Kid and Targeted Woods and Salesman. You can do the whole thing. All the songs and optional items do all of Lost Woods in one go. It's pretty generous early game, actually.
We'll have to see if the game keeps being generous.
My guess is no. There it is. So that's our Way of the Hero from the Lost Woods, the hover boots. If you needed any more confirmation that we're going to be spending time in Shadow Temple, there it is. And Jabu Foolish as well. So there's our Foolish dungeon hint.
Yeah, pretty clear, cut and dry. Gavaroni's going to hope to find that the Shadow Temple holds one of those required items, either a spiritual stone or one of those 2 medallions.
Well, with Nocturne likely hinted Way of the Hero, even if it's not one of those required medallions or stones, it's going to have something required probably 90% of the time, maybe 95% of the time, with Dins also in the Way of the Hero location and Lost Woods having hovers, hard confirmed Way of the Hero. It'd be pretty shocking if it wasn't required somehow.
Looks like Gav is arming himself up for that Deku tree.
Yeah, this is all pretty much by the book. Not really... Actually, Nocturne is a helpful warp song to get back to Castle. But other than that, it's all pretty standard so far.
Couple of unknown gossip stones behind the Deku Tree for new people to Ocarina of Time or the Randomizer. No real reason to hop back here in a casual playthrough, except for the super curious. And fire arrows. So yeah, you don't often see both fire and ice in the same dungeon, let alone the same room.
Doing pretty good on meme percent here. Well on our way. Where's that Nehru's love?
Yeah, well, we know they're gonna have magic by the time they get in Shadow Temple, but will they use those ice arrows?
I had a seed a while back where I used both ice arrows and Neighbor's Love non-ironically in a seed. Ice arrows for doing Mido skip without a bow, and Neighbor's Love because I was really bad at killing Iron Knuckles.
If those Iron Knuckles pack a punch.
So with the bomb bag early on, Gavaroni will be spared the setup for B1 skip and probably will elect to do a quick little ground jump with those bombs to hop right up there and meander on towards Goma. That's one of the benefits of a bomb bag before doing Deku Tree is you can get up there pretty quick.
Yep, ground jumps being one of the few glitches permitted in the rule set here. Easy as that. And Gavaroni showing off flame storage, another little trick allowed by putting away your Deku stick inside of the flame. It remains lit when you pull it back out if that torch is in the loading zone.
So assuming that Gav is able to take down Goma cleanly, the world is really going to be his oyster after this. We're pretty much exiting the standard opener phase, and now is the time where Gav can make some branching decisions. It's likely that he'll go to Dongo's Cavern if it ends up being a required dungeon, but if not, it's really up to him to decide where to go. And one of the complicating factors is that domain way of the hero, which is not in logic because he doesn't have ZL, but he can do it because he does have bombs to get in, and he can take a chicken and get behind the waterfall. And a nice little Kokiri Emerald on the Deku Tree. Normally that would be frustrating if you're playing the weekly settings, but in SGL, that is a required stone to get access to Ganon's castle. So 1 down, 4 to go.
Yeah, always a nice little surprise when you haven't seen the puzzle yet.
And Gav will not be doing chickens because that was hinted. So I imagine he will just be running on through CAC. Maybe he'll elect to do the Reded Grotto, although he's going to have to come back as adult, so he might just elect to save his Deku Sticks for them. Oh, there's a man on the right with a beard and bombs and magic and hovers and scale and light arrows. Wow, okay. We got a sneak peek, and that's it. And that's also 50 minutes into this. Is that what? Did he like did he restart his stream without delay or something? I'm not sure what's going on the right side, but interesting vision into the future. So it looks like Namaha is live, but his timer is ahead by a lot. He's at like 51 minutes. Okay, so looks like we are gonna be able to get Namaha on at some point because we managed to sort through some of the tech issues, but I think it may be, unfortunately, another 15 minutes until we get him on, but we will eventually be having our second runner, so apologies for the technical issues, but that's just comes with the territory of running a tournament online. But in the meantime, we get to see Gavaroni. Looks like he's heading up Zora's River, and he's going to be electing to make that play that I mentioned earlier to check out Domain, and we'll see what's behind the waterfall and if it's going to be something readily accessible or whether it's going to be King Zora hiding the goods.
Yep, this year has been a year of fires, both figuratively and literally. I'd encourage anybody to support anyone affected by the forest fires we had earlier in the year. We're trying to deal with some of the technical fires behind the scenes. So we do apologize as Gavaroni's trekking up the river here.
Yeah, Gavaroni did something really smart that probably nobody noticed, but maybe a few really experienced runners. So instead of running directly into the wallet with the chicken held above him, he actually threw the chicken, then picked up the wallet, and then picked the chicken back up. And that's because if you don't throw the chicken first, sometimes the chicken will just randomly run off the edge, and he cannot afford to lose that chicken. That chicken is the only way he can get into Zora's domain. So that's something that's happened to me once, and it's something that probably has happened to Gav once, and he's never forgotten it. Or maybe he just watched it happen to me, and then he remembered it forever as well. But it's really smart because it's actually like a big deal if you lose that chicken. You have to go all the way back to the start of River, and you can't check your way of the hero domain. It's little things like that that can end up being like a minute or two of time save if you avoid making a costly mistake.
Yep, the stuff of nightmares, tossing and turning you. But chat, very helpful behind the scenes, keeping tabs of the hints. Not going to be seeing very many Skulltulas. 20, 30, 40, and 50, all dead. Not much good in that domain just yet.
Well, if you don't see anything from the diving game, then maybe that wallet could come into play. Who knows? Oh, and it will. Well, maybe not the wallet, but it looks like it's King Zora who's got the goods. So nothing in child domain.
That definitely increases the value of that wallet.
Having that wallet, and if a guy were to find a second wallet, he would be able to buy blue fire to unfreeze King Zora without going to Ice Cavern to pick up blue fire, or going to Ganon's and getting blue fire that way. So sometimes we see Rudos on King Zora, the Paradox Letter. That's a common meme in the Zooter community. So who knows if that'll be the case today, but if so, then it's a good thing we got that wallet in the river.
And we'll be checking 10 Skulltulas, and that'll be it on his spider tokens.
And to answer a question in chat, yes, there is an ice % category where you find all the ice traps, and that's called Every Seed I Play Ever.
Yeah, just 6 in the vanilla game, but with the randomizer, you can really add as many as you'd like. Just imagine that, a Plando where you start with all the items, but you're in an ice trap category where you have to do all the checks anyway.
It's not Triforce Hunt, it's Ice Trap Hunt.
And unfortunately, you don't get warped to the end credits. You still have to fight Ganon.
We better shut up before the rando team gets some ideas.
Namaha is keeping everybody in suspense. Get your guesses in chat. He should be popping up. Where's he gonna pop up though? Is it gonna be right next to Gavaroni? Is it gonna be on the other side of Hyrule? Gonna be in another time zone?
What items is he going to have that we haven't seen yet from Gav?
I'll have to frantically click along the tracker. Probably right as Gavaroni's checking the pedestal.
No, Gav! No, Gav! No!
Oh, you almost got it back, but yeah. Luckily, he gets a free shot. You can miss 2 and you get a free try. Don't have to spend more rupees, but you have to spend more time.
Yeah, it's not free because time is money. Oh, he clutched it, but it was scary.
Getting a silver scale for the troubles. Looks like he's ready to pull that Master Sword. Getting
that scale is
in tune with King Arthur's court. Sorry, bad pun.
No, the scale is really nice because Gav knows that he's going to have to go to Domain as adult, and right now with no Iron Boots, gives him the option to go from Minuet to KZ. And actually, if he can find a way to thaw King Zora, he can get in there without ZL because he has those hovers, and you can actually get behind the waterfall as adult without ZL with the hover boots.
Yeah,
using some careful alignment, but. Here's where we see where the medallions are all at, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so it looks like we had a free stone. We've got Water Temple required, and Forest and Fire are the other 2 required dungeons. And of course, Shadow, Fire Medallion, and Shadow's got the goods. Doesn't even matter, just you can do what you want, but it's always required.
I'll do my best to get these labeled up accurately.
So with this layout, you don't actually need a whole ton of items. Fire and Forest don't really require that many extra items. You just need the hammer and then hookshot and strength for Forest, but you're usually going to get those anyway. And Water just requires long shot and irons or the other scale from 1500 HBA. So actually that 1500 hit could play a factor if Iron Boots don't show up, because they may be able to get into Water Temple using the gold scale. That is, of course, assuming that they can find a Pona song, which there is no guarantee that that song is available anywhere easily. And for all we know, it could be locked behind that foolish Forest Medallion Jabu. And if Randobot is anything like it's been lately, it probably is.
Yeah. It's always better to be a pessimist running rando races. And then be pleasantly surprised 1 in 10,000 seeds.
Yeah, it does look like we're in for a bit of a long one, because it really does seem like Shadow is going to be required. It's kind of hard to imagine it not being required. I did not see if Gav went to check the Minuet song. He has Minuet, and SFM is Way of the Hero. So I would be interested to see if ZL is on Minuet, because it's potential that Shadow could just be bait, theoretically, if SFM is just Way of the Hero for ZL and not for the Dins and Nocturne that are also there.
Yeah, no, I think he played Nocturne straight from the Temple of Time.
Well, there's Magic, so he's got the ability to do Shadow at his leisure if that's what he chooses to do. He might want to get ZL first so that he could potentially complete it, but yeah, the full Shadow kit available right away.
Not gonna need this song from Guru Guru. It's kind of handy for transportation. It's not gonna unlock anything for us.
So chat is claiming that Temple of Time was Way of the Hero too. So I didn't see that, but I guess I'll take your word for it for now. But if that's the case, then that means that Jabu on Force Medallion is hard required, because the light arrow cutscene is always going to give you the Ganon's Castle boss key. So the only thing that could be Way of the Hero in Temple of Time is the song.
Yeah. Did we see a Temple of Time Way of the Hero? Yuck.
Well, I didn't see it, but someone in chat said that they saw it, so maybe they have better vision than I do. Oh, and some light arrows.
Handy dandy.
Arrow percent complete.
So if we're playing with an if we're playing with an open bridge, and no boss key for Ganon's Castle, Gavaroni would be on his way to finishing this puppy up. Sub-hour.
Too bad you need those stones. Reminds me of the seed that I got on the shuffled ladder, where there was only 2 Way of the Hero items. Still took me like 2 hours to finish the seed, though. But anyway, looks like Gav's going to be finishing up Cac, and Dodongo's Cavern is Water Medallion, which is also optional. So he's got a choice to make here about whether to spend his early bomb bag towards potentially an optional dungeon, and we'll find out pretty soon what he's gonna choose.
Yeah, I mean, with that bomb bag so early on, I think you have to go into Dodongo's Cavern.
But if it's true that Temple of Time is Way of the Hero, and we're pretty sure that Shadow is going to be required, although it's not 100% sure, if you do Dodongo's Cavern, you're basically committing to AD, right? Oh, there's a hammer up there.
That's useful. Gonna need that one.
That is definitely required, because Fire Temple is a medallion that you need. So now, is Gav going to still do Dodongos? Looks like he's headed in there. So yeah. Opting to do Dodongos instead of rushing over, and he can potentially do Fire Temple. No hook shot, but he's got everything he needs to full clear fire, other than potential hook shot for Pierre. And keep in mind, fire is Way of the Hero. So this is an interesting decision, and I'm not sure necessarily it's the best one, but if Gav finds something required here in Dodongos, then I'm going to look real silly.
I say even if you just pop in here for the hint stone, the one chest in the lobby, and bail, I mean, that'd be the bare minimum. Be a gutsy play, but I think you have to do it.
Yeah, no, it's nothing wrong with that. I'm curious if we've seen a Nocturne hint, because in these settings you don't actually get an OOT hint guaranteed. The all dungeons hint is actually Nocturne, since you get Nocturne for doing the optional Force Medallion, Fire Medallion, and Water Medallion. So if Gav has seen that hint, maybe he's thinking along those lines. But yeah, like, we're not missing. Well, hey, there you go, Rudo's letter. So shows how much I know.
I mean, that also gives you access to the Ice Cavern.
Yeah, so this is This is pretty wild. We're gonna have domain. The domain way of the hero item is now available. Although he's gonna have to go back to domain as child to turn that in, so that's not ideal. And the fire temple way of the hero item is almost certainly available unless it's in like the one check that's locked by hookshot. And so that's two way of the hero items that we know are accessible. And then we also have a lot of hits pointing towards Shadow Temple, which has been untouched. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to check right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of very good points, too. So we know we absolutely need to find one strength upgrade, iron boots, and 2 hook shots.
Well, it's scary, though.
We have everything to beat the pig.
It's scary, though, because we have a scale already in our inventory. We know that the other scale is on 1500 HBA. So if Epona Song is just lying around somewhere, and all of these nonsense way of the heroes are pointing towards, like, irons, somewhere terrible, the hints could actually end up leading our runners astray if the boss key in water is somewhere nice.
Gavaroni, I'm not sure if he's seen the 3 ninjas or not, but he's doing a great job of lighting up those eyes.
I see what you did there. Wow, a pop culture reference that I actually get.
Definitely played the VHS tape of that movie way too many times in my house.
Hey, we got another runner.
Alrighty, and he's got his hammer. He looks like he's done a whole lot of what Gavaroni's done. With perhaps the exception of this non-essential Dodongo's Cavern.
Who knows? Maybe he's been there already. But just to point out for chat, when they were paused earlier on, I think Namaha paused his timer. So even though the timers look like they're not synced up, they're actually at the same point in the seed. So just disregard that discrepancy up at the top of your screen. They are in the same place.
Good eyes. So I'm going to assume that Namaha's kind of done the same kind of Child 3 song route. I think that's fair play, plus the Deku Tree.
Yeah, there's another wallet too, so that's interesting. With that wallet, well, it looks like Namaha has not checked domain yet. Because if Namaha had gone upriver as child, he would have had both wallets. But you can see, based on the rupee color on his screen, he's only got one. So I imagine that... Well, that was cool. A little side hop from Namaha with the hovers. So I think that they probably have done pretty similar routes, but Namaha just put off the domain checks until Child 2.
I've been busy clicking. Gavaroni just finished up Dodongo's Cavern, I assume?
Yes, he finished it up. Didn't find anything else as far as I know. And we've got a Vanilla Bolero, so that's always nice. And I'm interested to see what was the Minuet song. I see Serenade is highlighted on the tracker, so I'm wondering if that was the one in SFM.
Windmill.
Oh, that was the windmill.
No, that
okay.
was in the windmill. Yeah.
I will mark that
Namaha
down.
wasting no time. Doesn't have a whole lot of time to spare. Just 4 hearts to his name. Gonna take a crack at the fire temple.
Yeah, he might be able to get the Way of the Hero item in one of the first checks. Otherwise, I don't know if he has a bottle to get a fairy, but there is a trick that you can do that Toxic Oxygen discovered that will allow you to get up to mid-level fire with only 4 hearts. Although it's pretty tricky, and I've actually never used it in a real race. But with fire being Way of the Hero, this might be the time for it.
Yeah, absolutely. When in doubt. He also has a wallet, so he could just pop out and buy one of those tunics.
That is true, and with Bolero, it's not even that slow. You would have to farm a little bit of rupees outside of Darunia's room, but if he's not confident using the trick, then that probably would be a good choice.
Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way.
And actually, Gav just picked up that wallet, and that's going to potentially help him, because if he wants to chase that that King Zora Way of the Hero hint, he could potentially buy Blue Fire and just go directly there without having to turn in the letter, and that might save him a little bit of routing time.
Yeah, I'm certain as soon as he saw that, he's like, well, that saves that check. Alrighty, so just 1 key out of the first 2 checks, so we're going deeper in. Unless the boss keys are right outside the lobby.
Ha! What a bro. Letting the Goron go free. Well, now what do? This is a dilemma.
Yeah, Way the Hero. He has 1 wallet, but Gav has the other. So what bait could you have? You can't have tunics. You have wallets. So it has to be something good.
Well, Gav is farming up rupees here. I think Gav's about to buy a tunic because he just got that red rupee on the volcano. So Gav's going to go into fire, and it's actually going to work out really well for him because he's going to get that boss key, and he's going to have the ability to kill Volv right away. And then there's no chance that he's going to get key locked by Volv like halfway through Fire Temple, needing to continue on to Deep Fire to get that Way of the Hero item. So, just kidding. There's Iron Boots.
Yeah, I often can forget that the dragon can key lock you.
Oh, I've been burned enough times. Can't forget. But looks like that the gold scale plays are not going to come into effect now, with those Iron Boots being easily accessible in a Way of the Hero location.
Yeah, but I'm still waiting on that Blue Fire purchase.
Yeah, and if in fact Temple Time's Way of the Hero, then that means that we're probably not going to be able to get around that requirement, because the Temple of Time is not going to be locking Iron Boots.
And here we go. We'll get to confirm the Psychic Force meta Way of the Hero.
Oh, Song of Time. That's awful.
Or maybe not.
So now you just got to scratch your head and commit to something. I mean, it's Song of Time, so it could be literally just for Boss Key and River Chest and Water, or it could be the other 2 things pointing to Shadow. Probably have to do Shadow, I think, with the information you're given, but it doesn't feel great, and you're going to be crossing your fingers that you don't get stuck with nothing. Still no ZL, though, interestingly enough.
And I wasn't 100% sure, but I thought I saw Rudo's letter in Namaha's inventory.
I have this sneaking suspicion that Zelda's Lullaby is going to be in the Temple of Time.
Yeah, possibly. But we might not need it.
That's technically true. If you can get the boss key in water, there's like 4 checks potentially that you can do without ZL using some tricks. So this could technically be a rare, not hard required ZL seed.
Gavaroni has taken out the dragon, making it look really easy.
Oh, Namaha's a boomerang.
Yeah, what?
He's got a boomerang. I see it in his inventory.
Yeah.
I wonder where he found that. So, and he's got Ruda, so he did Dodongos as well, so I would have gotten crushed this race. Good thing they're playing.
Yeah, at least he peeked inside and maybe hit the switch. But perhaps he got bailed out of Gerudo Valley.
Yeah, I think that's very likely. I don't think Namaha does the 3 grotto opener, but I could be wrong. Namaha, are you ignoring Domain? Domain is way of the hero, do you know? Oh, he's left the torches already. Never mind. I think he's already done these.
Yeah, he must have been here earlier. But not grabbing that wallet.
I wonder how he got here earlier and didn't get the wallet. That's weird.
Because I do remember he had beans in his inventory.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I wonder if he just like said, "I don't need this wallet."
Yeah. But meanwhile, Gavaroni going back inside the Fire Temple. Needs to find out what's in the way of the hero in here. Luckily, it's not too far away.
Yeah, and he'll have to decide what to do when he gets those irons, whether to keep going or bail out. I think with the amount of progression that he has elsewhere, it's kind of a no-brainer to dip out, but it's always one of those things in the back of your mind when you have a way of the hero Fire Temple and you've only cleared like the first third of it, if there's not something else hiding deeper.
So Namaha must be thinking what you're thinking. Inside of Baron Jabu Jabu, must want that forest medallion.
So to answer a question in chat, Gav was not actually hitting the block to damage the boss. The damaging the boss actually comes when he crouch stabs with the Master Sword, but crouch stabbing the block just knocks him down because it creates like a recoil or something, whatever your head cannon is. It just knocks him to the ground where you can stab him.
Yep. You can kind of hit the hammer anywhere near him. I think the block is the most efficient. But Namaha is escorting his fish princess through another fish.
At least he gets to Gomo Jabu, because we are well aware it's barren, so going to be skipping all the chests here, I'm sure.
And Gavaroni making the same play, finding those iron boots and saying, "I'm out of here." And straight into the Shadow Temple. I like this play. let us see why the Lost Woods was Way of the Hero and Sacred Forest Meadow. Hover Boots and Nocturne Shadow in those locations respectively.
Yep, so this makes sense. Gavaroni has like 3 different areas of likely progression that he can chase down.
I think chat's saying that Namaha's wearing an upside down afro on his face.
Now, that may have been me.
Oh, it was you.
Oh, there's a Rang.
Yeah,
Okay, there's a Rang in Shadow. That makes perfect sense. Okay.
Oh, so Namaha has been here.
It's like first check. First check Rang.
And where was Magic?
Magic was in Cap, in the cow heart piece.
That was a big brain play from Namaha, doing that pretty early on.
So if you're Gav, what do you do now? You got Rang. You probably know the Temple of Time is Way of the Hero. Likely going to be ZL. Do you keep going in Shadow? Yeah, answer looks like no.
Yeah. Get me out of here.
Seed has a lot of really interesting dilemmas for the runners. It's not really for the people who like to full clear their dungeons in one go. A lot of progression just showing up early in the Way of the Hero areas and letting you wonder if there's anything that lies deeper.
Yeah, it's essentially putting to the test. Do you full clear your Way of the Hero locations?
It's such an investment, though. Like, if you keep going in Shadow and there's nothing there, and the rest of the seed is straightforward, like, you're losing 10 minutes on your opponent if they dip out after the first check. It's really risky.
Yeah, unless you see that, like, Song of Storms is on Burning Cack, and you say, you know what, I'm just gonna make the all dungeons play, assume that, like, the long shot is in the bottom of the well.
Or it could just be Sunsong on there, although I'm sure we have some people who would still go for the AD play. Looking at you, Felix. Shoutouts to the weekly yesterday.
But, yeah, Gavaroni making the same play, following Namaha inside Jabu Jabu. Namaha taking out Big Octo, just has to take out Baronade. And all of this, just most likely for Zelda's Lullaby, so we can complete the Water Temple.
Yeah, most likely. Might be required for some other things if there's more stuff in Shadow Temple. But I think our runners are kind of going to converge here a little bit in Jabu. And after Jabu, probably going to be headed towards the Ice Cavern to get Blue Fire for KZ. So I think our next 10 minutes or so are booked, and then after that, it's anybody's guess.
Yeah, I learned about the conservation of mass and energy in school. It looks like we're going to have a conservation of links with inside Jabu Jabu. One coming out is one going in.
I'm sorry, I wasn't good at chemistry.
Oh yeah, me neither. I learned that in physics.
That's the joke. Oh, good stuff. All right, are we gonna have our clean Baronade? Attempt number 1 coming right up.
Yeah, always feels bad to see those pot strats. Gavaroni at least has the Kokiri sword, so doesn't have to worry about that. But Namaha not getting the optimal boomerang.
He tried to go for the backup where you aim up a little bit, and then when the boomerang comes back around, it can kind of clip in to baronade a little easier. And he actually managed to get it in there before the full cycle, so he kind of managed to save a little bit of time over like the worst case scenario, but not totally clean. I'm gonna give it a B minus.
Yeah. I think I'd give him a little bit of a B plus for having that backup strat in his side holster there.
But Baronade not having anything, not surprising since Jabu is foolish. So if he did, then that would be really concerning. But time to find out whether ZL is actually the way of the hero song in the Temple of Time like we expect.
I don't know, I'm kind of expecting chat to have trolled us.
Well, if they trolled us, then they trolled our runners, because otherwise the runners did Baron Jabu for nothing. So I don't know if chat quite has
Good
that
point.
level of power.
Oh, careful.
It could be Requiem
think...
leading to ZL. That's a fair point, I think.
Nothing else to it but to do it for Namaha. But Gavaroni, with his wallets and his extra money that he had at the time in completing the Fire Temple, is gonna be in a little bit of a lead. I think when everything's all said and done.
I have a feeling that Gav is just gonna go to Ice to get the blue fire, seeing as his wallet, his giant wallet, is not holding a giant amount of rupees right now. But on the other side, Namaha picking up ZL, so us commentators got something right at least, and now probably Bolero for either finishing Fire Temple or Zora's Domain for the big fish.
Yeah, I think he's getting his dragon fight on. Nope, foot in my mouth.
Well, he could be farming rupees for a tunic, so you're not wrong yet.
Yep. Gonna immediately use that Zelda's Lullaby, though. That's the play I'll agree with. Get progression, use it.
Interesting. He's heading up to finish Crater, so going to be doing the loop, it seems like, doing the fairies, and then maybe he will drop back down into Goron City to either take the shortcut over to Domain or Fire Temple. That was our last Baron hint. That was Zora's Fountain being dead, so kind of narrows it down a bit.
You don't want to confuse those two.
Interesting, heading back into Crater, going this direction. I wonder what the plan is.
Whoopsie.
Oh.
Not that.
Yeah, you can't do that. You have to... I don't think you can go straight from the upper level over to that ledge. I think you have to run from the lower level. Although he's trying again, so we're about to find out if I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Yeah, just needed a little extra momentum, but he wants a second lava
No!
bath.
Just get the Darunia rupee. You don't need that one.
I think he wants both of them.
Yeah, you can just go in and out the door. It's not... No. Alright. Do your thing, Namaha.
He just wants Gavaroni to catch up a little bit. That's what I think.
We gotta get a resync. I like that. Doing it for the fans. Doing it for the show.
Speed Gaming Live 2020 going on all this week. 14 tournaments, 600 matchups. Tons of fun.
I can remind you that this is a pretty important match for the tournament. This Group D, the Group of Death, because it's Group D, and also because there are 3 top-tier runners in this group that kind of got stacked together. Not to count out the other 2, but the top 3 in this group, Dylan, Meeple, Gavaroni, and Namaha, I think all of them were in the top 8 last year at SGL, and all 3 of them probably the favorites for the 3 spots to advance from this group. But if any of them slip up in some of the other matches, it really adds to the importance of doing the best you can in these kind of head-to-head matchups against the other favorites.
I think all those 3 that you mentioned have been zootering since about season 2 or so. Gavaroni finished up getting his forest medallion. Namaha back in action, needs a little bit of blue fire.
Yeah, I think he bought his tunic, and then he's gonna see what the item is here, and maybe go back to fire. So routing was a little awkward, but still focused on the important stuff. Got his eyes on the prize, so nothing to complain too much about.
Yeah, he can really warp back to the fire temple at any point to grab that medallion.
And Gav is...
Go ahead.
Sorry, Gav is right on his tail. Gonna be getting ZL, and I imagine heading to the exact same place.
Yeah, I guess that would be the play to make, right? Follow your way of the hero hints.
Yep, you know Casey's
jump into Forest Temple.
I wonder if Namaha will elect to go through the entire ice cavern, or if he will just get blue fire and dip right out to see what the way of the hero item is. With Requiem still out there and Storm still out there, I think it's probably pretty decent to just go ahead and complete it in one batch, but people don't always think like I do.
Yeah, I'm guessing because he's got both of those bottles out, he's invested in doing a little bit more than just the one chest anyway. Right, you're definitely gonna do the one chest.
No, that's a really good observation. I think you are absolutely spot on with that. With both bottles out, probably going to be doing the whole thing.
And it does look like Gavaroni right behind him. So Namaha is the one that almost at the 90-minute mark with a slight edge.
Well, it's a little bit of an illusionary edge because Gavaroni has finished up Fire Temple. So honestly, I think when you factor that in, they're basically in a dead heat.
Neck and neck, as they say in other places elsewhere.
But yeah, like what are we like almost an hour and a half in and 4 hearts? This is it's pretty rough.
Yeah, would you be interested in like saving as much time as possible? I was looking at Gavaroni playing Zelda's Lullaby. In a situation like that, are you gonna save those extra seconds and try to hover in?
I mean, I'm hovering in every time I get the chance, but maybe Gav just doesn't feel confident with that trick or just slipped his mind. Sometimes that can happen. It's a little harder as adult than it is with child. Now, I think that Gav has not seen that Fountain Baron, so we might be getting some dead checks here.
Yep, it looks like it. I'm guessing, right, that was in the crater, so he never ventured that deep inside.
I think it was the Crater Grotto, so he hasn't gone up to check the fairy fountains yet. Namaha missing the rupee, unfortunately, with that first jump. Seeing some really nice glitchless strats here. These are for runners who are like actually mechanically good, and not like me because I just use bombs, but I have them every single time. But Namaha has this all carefully practiced, and the nice thing about these strats is it doesn't actually matter what items you have in your inventory. You can always do glitchless strats, and if you're good enough to pull them off every time, then you don't really need to care if you have a bomb bag or not.
Yeah, and it just looks so pretty.
Yeah, he's not even going to ground jump up there. Look at this! Wow, what a baller!
Well, I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so lots of time to practice your speed running strats.
Well, they bring out the gamers for
At least
it
for some people. This is the final room. A chest and a song are in here. And a Wolfos.
Will it be Requiem? Will it be Storms? Will it be Epona? Time to find out.
Oh. Well, that's a song.
So that's Storms. That's always the one you like to see because that's going to open up a bunch more checks in bottom of the well. And as I tell myself, nobody's ever lost a race by checking bottom of the well. So just got some options to keep going further. But for now, it is time to finally see what that stinking way of the hero item is on the big fish.
And Gavaroni just with the one bottle. Go through the ice cavern as well, but just a little bit slower because of that.
Looks like we got Nocturne as Epona's song. So that's interesting. That's probably going to push GTG out of Logic for a very long time. Although actually, that is in Logic to do AD, so we could see some more logical shenanigans show up if the runners want to commit to GTG without having that logical access.
But there it is. The prize from King Zora is our hook shot. Not too many other items would have been very helpful.
Well, I thought Namaha was going to go into Water Temple, but he's not headed in that direction. He fooled me. Maybe he's going to pick up Scarecrow and then check Lake, I guess? I'm not sure.
Yeah, can't imagine he's thinking about the Scarecrow for the Fire Temple.
Yeah.
Doesn't need it for the fortress.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he is doing fishing.
Ooh, Gavaroni doing the glitchless strats and missed the second jump there, but fortunately he's got bombs, so hopping on up there is not going to be much of a time loss. Got these swag gamers make me feel bad with my antiquated ground jump strats every time.
It's a safe strat. I mean, if you can't pull it off, better safe than sorry. So wasting a little bit of time fishing.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I feel like he's got a water temple progression that he could chase down. He can do the first part of Forest Temple as well, and he's got Minuet, so it's just it's an interesting decision to go for these checks right away. Actually, he's going to go check diving in the lab, which logically we know is locked behind AD because of Epona being necessary for HBA.
Unless we maybe missed away the hero hint, that's the only other explanation I could think of.
Now, we had Temple of Time Way the hero, so that was the last one. It was Lost Woods, Fire, Domain, SFM, and Temple of Time.
Oh, okay, good. Alright. Huh. We'll have to ask him about this post-race. See what was floating through those creases of his brain.
Yeah, and chat pointing out that that's more skulls than he needs because we had the 20 hint show up as well, so we know that anything more than 10 skulls is just wasted time, unfortunately. One thing that is working in Namaha's favor is he checked that Crater Fairy and got a second bottle, and so he was able to deal with the blue fire situation a little more efficiently. Gavaroni had to run back to the Silver Rupee room to refill his bottle so that he can get his hook shot that is coming right up on KZ. As for Namaha, it's back to Fire Temple to finish off the dragon. And by the time this is all said and done, we're going to have a tight race.
Yeah, it's going to be curious to see where Gavaroni takes that hook shot. I'm thinking that it's going to be the Forest Temple.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do in the situation. You got the courtyard checks, and you can pretty much do it for free. You can warp right to the entrance, and we're wrong again. It's Bolero.
Curious.
I think he's gonna
those fairy fountains.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna clean up those fairy fountains, and then not sure where he'll go after that. But this is also a safe play because it allows you to get some hints, and so he's gonna be sad to find that Mountain is barren when he's already checked it. But it's not the worst place in the world to have barren.
Might also stop off at our 2 Song of Storms hints, having just grabbed that.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, I think that's exactly what he's going to do because it's a perfect route for that. You end up in Goron City, you go through the shortcut, you pop out into Kokiri, you do the storms checks, and then you can do Minuet and dip into Forest. So I think you're right on the money.
Very efficient routing here from Gavaroni. Cleared out the Fire Temple in one go. I'll see Namaha kind of double dip that. But anyone not sure what Namaha's doing with those bombs? There's actually 2 hitboxes for Volvagia. One that plays whack-a-mole, and one that flies around and then burrows into a hole. He's currently damaging the latter as teasing the whack-a-mole player.
Gav had a good reaction to finding that Zora's Fountain hint. He's now 0 for 2 on getting Baron hints for locations immediately after clearing them, throwing back to that Gerudo Valley at the very beginning of the seed.
Yeah, and he didn't even get to escape the 3rd Baron location. He had to go through Jabba.
It's like Season 4. So from an item perspective, we are pretty close to done. I think we're only missing the long shot and a strength upgrade for go mode. So potentially we could be really close, but in the back of our runners' minds, you've got to be worried about that Shadow Temple that still has a ton of checks, and Deep Fire also has a ton of checks, both Way of the Hero having given us an item, but you're missing 2, and if none of them show up in Forest, especially that long shot, oh no, Gavaroni falling down. And we're synced.
Yeah, other than that, we are neck and neck.
Yeah, if we do, wow, they are literally synced. This is pretty exciting. But for our runners, this is, if you don't see anything here, it really can get scary because you pretty much exhausted all of the guaranteed information you're going to get. All runners have found required items in all of the Way of the Hero areas, and so still missing 2 items. Anything beyond here is pretty high stakes. You find it fast, you're probably going to win. But if you invest time into dungeons that don't pay out, you could be putting yourself too far behind to catch up.
Yeah, it's really gonna be interesting to see how the later half of the seed turns out.
We have a lot of options available too. All of Bottom of the Well is available. We have the rest of Shadow Temple, Deep Fire. GTG is technically accessible in logic through Epona's song, so that could be another choice. And we're trying to find one little long shot. Also, Water Temple is available, and probably should be dipped for boss key purposes at the very least at some point. Although not until Forest is done. And do they have a strength upgrade? Am I crazy? Because I guess they're just going to do the Floor Master chest. Okay, that makes sense. Because Hubbard.
Yeah, this will give them that 1 extra check along the loop, hoping to pull a strength upgrade. Even if it was an out of logic one, these runners don't care.
All right, nothing there. It's decision time. Where now? Where just got? Are they? Oh, I see. I think they did the Floor Master into the courtyard. That's
Yep.
Smart, yeah. Good routing by the players. Got a little ahead of myself there. Still got a few checks left.
Happens inside the Forest Temple. I was hoping the other day with a barren forest that they had to trek through, if we would see some of those 3 key strats, but no luck.
Yeah, you really never see those strats in Standard. I don't actually even know them. I'm sure eventually I'll run into a seed where it could help out, but never was much of a key sanity player myself.
So just a whole bunch of keys. Namaha, you forgetting the well?
I think he's going back to Shadow.
He is.
This is a pretty big point of
from I think he went from the Courtyard Island. I don't think he went into the well for that check.
Huh. I hope it's not anything.
Well, it was a key on Gav's end.
Well, I hope that he remembers it, because he's going to have a hard time finishing Forest Temple without it. I thought you were talking about the well, because that's where Gav's going.
Oh, yeah, that is where Gav's going.
I think he's going to pick up this song first. It's probably Requiem. Or I'm wrong.
All right, game on. Is there more inside the Shadow Temple? Is the well a big old bait trap? Stay tuned to find out. This is a part of the 2020 Speed Gaming Live Ocarina of Time Randomizer Tournament. Going on all this week, along with 13 others. Winner takes home a cash prize of just over $1,000. Total prize pool is just over $2,000. I believe it's the top 5 runners are splitting that amongst themselves. So chat pointing out Gavaroni up to 5 whole heart containers.
Yeah, this has been a really stingy seed in terms of hearts, and it really forces you to be clean with your execution, because you can't be loosey-goosey or you're going to be taking deaths.
Deaths would be appropriate in either of these locations. Very spooky places.
And spooky because of the stakes. If you don't find something that you've in a place that you committed to, there's no guarantee that the other runner is going to come here. The world is so wide open that you can really justify almost any choice. So it kind of weighs on your mind. The more dungeons you check that come up empty, you start to get more and more discouraged, and it becomes a big part of the challenge of rando is just maintaining your mindset when you're completely blind as to what your opponent is doing, and maybe you're 15 minutes ahead, but maybe you're 15 minutes behind, and you have no way of knowing until you get that done button.
Nothing so far. Checks dwindling.
Unfortunately, Namaha not getting that 20 skull hint, or if he got it, he's forgotten because he's continuing to pick up skulls, and that's one of those checks that really ends up being a substantial time investment, and to know that it's dead is pretty painful. Probably is about at least 1.5 to 2 minutes of combined time when you account for every single one of those skulls.
Yeah, he's not necessarily like going out of his way for a skull, right? There's chests in the area, but those seconds over, a 3-4 hour race really do add up.
The Gav also coming up empty in the well as well. So kind of no luck so far for either of our runners. Well is a smaller commitment than Shadow. You can full clear well in about 5 minutes, but Shadow is usually about a 10-minute commitment from where Namaha started. So,
yeah, I call this room about the halfway mark.
Gavaroni getting some parts, gonna feel healthy. At least Link's gonna feel healthy. I think Gavaroni's probably not gonna feel very healthy because he hasn't found anything in well.
Feeling a little hot or itchy from those headphones.
Namaha's got 20 skulls, so at least, hopefully now he's done losing time due to those. Kind of an interesting rep by Gavaroni doing the dead hand fight last and doing the back checks first. Some people will reverse it, but this way you have to climb through that little hole at the entrance twice. So I don't know if it's faster or not.
Well, he's hoping he doesn't have to fight dead hand. If he gets a key in the invisible chest, he could skip that fight. Or rather, the other way around. If he didn't get a key.
Good old metagaming in bottom of the well with keys. I used to do that, and then I lost like 3 races due to that, and I just stopped.
Oh no.
Burned too many times, August.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Well, Bait of the Well lives up to its name, and Namaha's not feeling bad, but he's going to get a consoling hug from the Gibdo anyway. He's almost done with Shadow Temple, to his credit, so assuming nothing shows up, we're going to be back to square one. 2 more high priority dungeons down and nothing to show for it. Where the heck is this strength upgrade and long shot? Well,
so they can't go over out west. They can't cross the Gerudo Valley Bridge. Well, so unless Epona Song, it must be in the graveyard.
No, Epona Song is on. Epona Song is on Nocturne. That was just hinted. In fact, Gavaroni just checked the hint stone saying such. But for some reason, Gavaroni did not get the song in the Sun Song grave. And so that could be Requiem allowing him out of logic access to GTG potentially.
Yeah.
And unless it was hinted somewhere, I'm not sure why he hasn't bothered to pick that up, because it seems to me like that would be high priority. But it seems like in the meantime he's going to be checking Child Goron City, so not a bad time to route that in while you're Child.
Yeah, hoping he doesn't have to come back. He's cleared out Jabu Jabu, Deku Tree, and the well. I think the only Child exclusive remaining check would be the treasure chest minigame.
I don't think he did Frogs in the Rain either, so that's something he might be leaving behind. It's really hard to go back to River in a situation like this just for that one check. See Namaha kind of wiping his forehead there. It's really scary. You just invested all this time into Shadow Temple and have nothing for it, and he's really hoping that something shows up in these last few checks.
Yeah, just almost at the 2-hour mark.
I don't know if he got Boss Key already.
Yeah, I think he did. I think it was freestanding from the Skull Pot.
Yeah, I think you're right. I remember now. So, looks like the hidden Floor Master room will have an item. Is he not going there? Was it hinted?
Likely either hinted or he's already gone inside.
Maybe you did that one.
Stuttering here.
Looks like Child Goron City did not have anything, unfortunately, so maybe Gav is going to do Frogs in the Rain. Looks like he's headed in that direction. That's the only reason I could imagine you running out of Goron City in that direction.
Yep, I think you're right. He wants to check off all the child boxes.
I think that's fine, honestly, because if you do this, then you can be really confident that you're not going to have to come Child again, unless it's really the only thing left is Child Spirit, potentially. And he really ought to check the Sunsong Grave and get that song to make sure it's not Requiem before going adult. Otherwise, he might have a little bit of inefficient routing in the worst-case scenario.
Yep. Might see him do that after these frogs. I think that would be the quickest. Or wait, no, yes, Serenade. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to find out as Namaha faces off against Bongo Bongo.
Oh boy. Gavaroni on Frogs in the Rain, finding the ability to waste even more time, now with a lens of truth for the treasure chest minigame.
Waste more time or be more efficient?
Gav, what? You just ran by the song again. Oh, he's doing Dante. Okay, all right. Oh, there's strength 1 on Bongo. That is unbelievable. Not again. Not again.
Who knows? That might not be our way of the hero. It might not be our only accessible strength upgrade.
I mean, probably not. I didn't check to see if there were any keys that were strength locked, but that is potentially huge. And to clarify about the key logic, there's actually only 2 checks in Shadow that are logically strength locked. They're the ones with the spiked crushers that come down from the ceiling. The 2 chests on top of there are logically strength locked. But if there's no keys on either of those 2 checks, then the strength that Namaha just got is in logic, and that's going to let him go back to Forest Temple and clear that out. And who knows if Longshot is just deeper in Forest and this thing's over.
Yeah, Gavaroni really needs to pull another strength upgrade out of somewhere soon.
Looks like it's Sunsong, so I think Requiem has to be vanilla now, and that means that you're not crossing the bridge without Longshot or Eponas. And in Namaha's case, he's definitely not crossing without Epona's, because if he has long shot, then he will just win. Yes, so Requiem could be on OOT, but if that's the case, then it's not going to matter because water is locking OOT. So if they have the ability to pick that song up, then they're already in go mode, or at least Namaha would be. Gavaroni, not necessarily with that luxury. Is Namaha checking Shield Grave at 2 hours? No, what? Oh, it's Sunsong Grave. I'm crazy. Yeah. I'm crazy.
They're vibing off of each other, just 7 years apart.
That's spooky. So, to answer the question, chat, we think that Namaha actually has done DC, but we had some tech issues early, and so the trackers may not be like 100% up to date. But we know that he's at least dipped in there because he got Ruto's letter, which was inside there. Whether he bailed out afterwards or not, it remains to be seen. And actually, that answers that question for you because he just got a Pona song, so he definitely has that medallion.
Alrighty then.
So yeah, he could go GTG now. That's the additional benefit of doing that Shadow Temple. You get that Fire Medallion, and that's AD done.
Yep, he's in it for the long haul, looks like.
Certainly he'll be doing Forest Temple first, but if it doesn't turn up there, he's got a really good backup play. And Namaha, I think, squarely in the lead, as Gavaroni's going to opt to waste some more time checking the treasure chests.
You say that until he pulls out a strength upgrade.
All right, well, I'll bet you that there's nothing there. I'll just bet you. Treasure chest game never has anything.
Moment of truth.
Nope.
Alrighty, fine.
So Water Medallion was Dodongo's Cavern this seed, and Namaha has done all the quote-unquote AD of SGL settings. Normally AD is the 3 stone dungeons, but in SGL, AD is Forest, Fire, and Water Medallion for the Nocturne song, and Namaha has done them all, and he has been paid out handsomely because he got that ZL on the Forest Medallion, and he got a Strength 1 as a reward for finishing Shadow, because Bongo apparently hides the goods in SGL. And he also got Ruto's letter from the Water Medallion to Dodongo, so all the stone dungeons having a lot of progression today. Or the optional dungeons, I should say, not the stone dungeons.
Really taking these runners for a ride here.
Gav's invested all this time into Chara cleanup and has come up with Squadouche, and it's feeling pretty terrible.
Yep, gotta be scratching his head. All right, do I go back into fire or
there
back into shadow?
That's his strength, so race is back on.
Oh, wow. It's exactly what Gavaroni needed to pull out of here. All right, let's go.
Yeah, so that strength is definitely in logic. However, I still think that this favors Namaha a fair amount because Namaha has finished Shadow Temple to get access to Epona, and we know that the only way across the bridge is going to be Epona. So if that long shot is in GTG, then Namaha is going to be a world ahead. And I think Namaha is probably likely to check that before Bottom of the Well. we'll see. But I think he's invested the time to pick up a opponent. He's probably going to try and take advantage of it.
Yeah, if that long shot is anywhere in Gerudo Fortress, the Training Ground, the Wasteland, or Colossus, or Spirit Temple, Namaha definitely has this in the bag.
Well, Spirit Temple's not a gimme because he would need Strength 2 likely for Spirit Temple, and that's, well, at least the ones that we found. The other one's in Child, so he would need to invest time into a Child cleanup, and any Child cleanup would likely involve bottom of the well, which would probably put our runners back pretty even again. So everything's still to play for, but we are now officially in long shot mode. Every stream viewer's favorite mode and every runner's worst nightmare.
Yeah, no more hints to bail us out of anywhere.
And Namaha, we're going to find out if he missed that key. Because he's going to get key locked here if he actually forgot about that well.
Yeah, Gav with 3 keys. Yeah, I think he has an extra key.
What is this block push routing from Gavaroni? I've never seen this before.
You always learn something new in the commentator's booth.
That's absolutely true. Every single time I watch good runners play, I learn a few tricks for the future. But not sure what's going on there. That's I've never seen the blocks pushed from that direction. Oh, he's going to do ground jumps? Oh, he's going to pull it from this way. Okay. That's interesting. I do the ground jump strat as well, but I don't usually do it like this.
Yeah, I love how these games, you know, puzzle seems pretty straightforward until you see a speedrunner take a stab at it.
This is kind of cool. So he's pulling them from the opposite direction, both ways. I've never seen it done that way. Arthur taught me the ground jump strat, but I've never seen the pulling rather than the pushing. We should change the name. It should be the block pull puzzle.
Maybe Gavaroni just showing off for the restream here. And here at Namaha is finding out. All right, where did I miss that key?
Yeah, this feels bad because Forest Temple is supposed to be autopilot. Maybe Namaha feeling some separation anxiety and wants his buddy Gav to catch up so he can be synced again.
I don't know, with $1,000 on the line, that's a really nice thought.
Doing it for the restream value, I think that's fair. Although it is actually nice. So he's got irons and hook shots, so he doesn't actually have to drain the water out of the well. He can just kind of float down there and hook shot into the chest if he remembers which one he's missing. Oh, there you go.
Well, he pulled up the map. Luckily, he's got the map to tell him where it is. I thought I saw that right when he was in here the first time.
It's unfortunate because he's gonna have to climb the blocks again. That room is super slow.
Yeah, unfortunately, no sight of Ferrer's Wind.
Well, he could have done the hover strat, but I think he still has to kill the blue Poe. I don't think the hover strat gets you around that, although I'm not an expert on that strat. Never used it before. But
Oh, the 3-key strat, you're right, he could have.
I would never, ever think of something like that in the moment. You don't really
in the moment of, oh shoot, I forgot a key.
Yeah, you don't really have the contingency plan filed for a situation like that. That's not one that shows up very often.
But the sync is real. And yeah, Chad is right. That would have been the play to make.
Wow, look at this sync. So beautiful.
Gavaroni with the fire arrow strats.
Shout out to Namaha giving us the sweet restream value. Gotta love it. Thinking of the fans. Gotta find some way to make Forest Temple exciting.
Alright, 2 random items left to find.
That's crazy. They both missed the second crouch stab. How they're so in sync. It's like mind meld.
Just about done with their ghost busting tour.
Still no long shot showing up, so looks like we're not going to have a free go mode for anybody. Though it would make for a really exciting finish if it were to show up right here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But either way, whether they grab the long shot out of here or not, their next play certainly to at least jump inside the water temple, find that boss key.
Yes, I agree with you. That is the by the book play, and we will see whether that actually happens or not. You never know.
Yeah, anything can happen in a randomizer.
So it makes it exciting. You got some a lot of new players in this tournament, and they sometimes don't abide by the established meta, which makes it interesting and also terrifying to play against.
Gavaroni is leading in the heart container department. He's got 7 containers plus that double defense he picked up in Chadgoran City. Here we have the Phantom Ganon. Slightly more difficult than Ganondorf himself.
Yo, sick one cycle by Namaha. That is so cool. You almost never see that. It's a really specialized strat. And Namaha made up about 10 seconds on Gav because Gav had some issues with the lightning bolts reflecting back. And so if this isn't long shot, it's race on. And it's not. So it's anybody's race yet again. I got to imagine that after Water, Gav would be maybe heading towards Shadow. I think probably is the most likely play. But for Namaha, after Water, you think about Bottom of the Well, you think about GTG. Who knows? Good thing I don't have to decide. It's on him.
On him and that epic beard he's sporting.
The upside down afro, indeed. But Namaha heading over to Water Temple, so everybody playing by the book. I like it. Good, solid rando. Making the safe decision. Policy play.
You see him there, though. He was just consulting that beard. I don't know if that's a legal play.
We'd get a mod to rule on that.
Up with a neck and neck as we're going inside the Water Temple. Our hopefully final required dungeon.
Looks like both runners heading down to the very bottom, skipping that compass chest. All right, good. We got a mod in chat to let us know that consulting the beard is in fact legal. So good job to our mods and volunteers working very hard to keep all our runners in check and making sure that nobody pulls anything on the sly. Gotta stay on top of things.
Yeah, pro beard community.
So we're just looking for the boss key in Water Temple. Probably not going to find any progression here. Water Temple tends not to have anything unless it's a bad seed. And once we find our boss key, then we can move on to more exciting things like where the heck is the long shot?
Anyone's guess at this point. Could be anywhere that we haven't seen. Cleared out all the lost woods in the forest. All the Death Mountain Trail and the crater. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, Gav did a really thorough child cleanup section, so we can be pretty confident that it's not sitting around in child somewhere. And if Namaha ends up going back to do a bunch of child checks, I think he's going to end up a little bit behind. If you're Namaha, you really want it to be in GTG, and if you're Gavaroni, you really want it to be in Spirit Temple, and you also want that other strength upgrade that we have not found to not be in GTG, because that, if that's the case, that would allow Namaha to just continue onward from GTG and check the Spirit Temple afterwards. But if it ends up not being in GTG, Gavaroni is likely to end up in Shadow Temple sooner rather than later. And if he does Shadow, he's going to run into that Strength 2 upgrade, and then also be able to get a Pona Song and we're going to find ourselves linked up again. And if it's not in GTG, Namaha is probably going to end up in bottom of the well. So, still no idea what could be the answer here. And you still always have that Way of the Hero Fire Temple lurking in the back of your mind. Could it be Deep Fire?
I'm kind of hoping it's on Shoot the Sun.
Well, it can't be on Shoot the Sun because that requires long shot. But we have a mirror shield, and that is actually really good information because that mirror shield is locked behind long shot logically. So that means that there is absolutely no way that mirror shield can be required to actually beat this seed.
Good, useful information. Powerful deduction skills.
So no Twin Rova today, unfortunately. Sorry, chat. Light Medallion Twin Rova, not going to have the goods. Namaha is using a cool little Strap of Din's Fire cast from the top level to light that torch, and he's going to raise the water level all the way to the top before doing the central pillar. This is a nice little optimization that allows you to avoid having to raise the water level twice, once to the middle level and then once again to the top. Just lets you raise it all the way to the top. You go back and check central pillar, and if central pillar is empty, then you can save quit back to the entrance, and your water level is already where it needs to be to check the rest of the checks.
Yeah, but it also looks very, very cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Underwater fire, I mean, come on.
I'm pretty sure that's 99% of the reason why we all love speedrunning is just stuff looks cool.
Well, that's certainly how someone discovered it. I wonder, what if I raise the water level with the torch lit? Because certainly the devs didn't program in a fire or a torch extinguishing.
Yeah, I think we pulled one over on the devs there. Fortunately, the devs really locked it down, and there's no other glitches to take care of. It's just that one. There's a boss key.
Hey-o.
It's actually pretty nice because there are some people in the commentator's booth who will opt to skip that central pillar check and do the back three before going back to central pillar. But it seems like both of our runners playing it by the book and are going to do central pillar first, and will definitely be avoiding the deep water temple bait.
Meanwhile, Namaha with that key in his pocket. Save warping back to the Temple of Time.
This looks like a GTG play for sure. If he was going to go bottom of the well, he would have just gone child. So this is exciting. It's high stakes here. If it's in GTG, then Namaha is definitely going to be coming out on top. Gavaroni cannot get there because he has to run through Shadow Temple before he can get his horse to pony up over that bridge.
Could also be French vanilla. Never rule it out.
Yeah, if it's French vanilla, we're going to be here for a while.
I think Gav had a total of 4 keys plus the boss key. And Namaha doing one final adventure in ghost busting, while Gavaroni is jumping back into the Shadow Temple.
Yeah, so this is where the divergence starts to become really important. So basically, if Strength 2 locks the long shot, it's probably going to be good for Gav. Otherwise, it's probably good for Namaha, because what's going to happen here is Namaha's going to go over to GTG, and he's going to check all the fortress checks and all the checks in GTG that he can do, and then he's certainly going to cross the desert to pick up that Vanilla Requiem. Well, actually, we assume it's Vanilla Requiem. It doesn't necessarily have to be Vanilla Requiem. He's probably going to cross to C if it is Vanilla Requiem, because if so, he will be able to do Child Spirit as part of his child play. And so that's another way that he could potentially get the long shot without having to lose a bunch of time cleaning up a bunch of gross checks like Child GC and Treasure Chest Game, etc. So I still think the situation slightly favors Namaha, but it's really close to 50-50, especially considering how deep we are into the seed.
Yeah, the only other option, and it also is in favor of Namaha, is that along the way here, he finds the third and final strength upgrade.
Yep, the third and final strength upgrade would basically open up all of Spirit Temple to Namaha and would put Gavaroni's outs to a very small amount, because Namaha has routed bottom of the well at the end, and Gavaroni has routed it earlier and came up empty, so until Namaha invests that time into those checks, he's going to be a little bit ahead.
Yeah, but really goes to show you how well Namaha is executing. They were neck and neck going, into the Forest Temple, into the Water Temple. But Namaha has managed to complete all of Shadow, compared to Gavaroni, who has completed the well, which, it does take time, but certainly not as much time.
Yep, and that's the pain of doing that really thorough child cleanup. So with the well, Gavaroni did Child Goron City, and he did Frogs in the Rain, and he did Treasure Chest Game, and he did Hyrule Castle Fairy. And after all was said and done, only picking up that strength upgrade on Hyrule Castle Fairy to show for all the effort. And those little checks here and there start to add up to a lot of time invested when a dungeon by itself is fairly linear. So it remains to be seen whether that child cleanup and the strength upgrade it netted is going to be the thing that lets Gavaroni come back into this. I like this from Namaha, electing not to ride Epona up to do the 1000 HBA. He knows that 1500 is dead, so it's probably more effective to just go straight into GTG, where the majority of the checks are, rather than try to do HBA first.
The lobby, not a quick in and out, so we're gonna go around the loop.
I'm going to be watching Gav's stream to see if there was any keys up here that were strength locked, because the first time we were here, Namaha kind of zoomed through this without a strength, out of logic, and I'm curious whether that strength 2 is... Yeah, so that strength 2 on Bongo is strength 2. It is not strength 1, because there's a key up there.
Yeah, but good enough for Namaha. At least until that second one's required.
Yeah, no, and that's actually probably good for Namaha if he's if he was paying attention to that, he would know that that strength is out of logic, which means that there has to be another strength floating around somewhere early, and there is. So if he ever gets locked out by strength, then he'll have a decent idea of where to go. Although, to be honest, pretty much everything that he has left outside of GTG is non-strength locked, so it doesn't really narrow it down too much.
The right side of GTG not paying off. Let's see if the left side is any better.
I'm feeling Light Medallion. I feel like Light Medallion dungeons have really had a lot of stuff in this tournament.
The Temple of Time is sure making its case.
Got to get the most out of those hinted CLs while you can, because they're going away.
We have only about half of the Shadow Temple to complete. So if you're Gavaroni and you're going through the Shadow Temple, you get Strength 2, and then Opponent's Song. Do you go straight to Spirit Temple, or do you jump inside GTG?
Yeah, it's a tough call. Gav will probably feel pretty behind because the child cleanup section really didn't get anything other than strength. The real 5-head play would just be to check the silver blocks room and keep going, but that's really a tough call to make in the moment. But it's kind of a metagamey option. Gav is a little bit of a metagamey player though, so I could see him doing it. Yeah, that would be pretty impressive if he was able to make a call like that, thinking, I don't actually have time to check GTG, I just have to go all the way to Spirit and hope I can make up the time there. So Namaha has half a heart right now. And he's got to get into that chest that's in the center there. So, not sure how he's going to make it.
Didn't he get the Goron tunic? Oh,
he got a recovery heart. He got a recovery heart in the other chest so he can flip in there. That's hilarious.
Oh no, look, it just takes a quarter of a heart.
He's death warping.
He's setting up for a forced death anyway. Yeah.
Okay,
so maybe it was intentional him taking all those bops.
I think you're right. But to answer a question in chat, the SGL settings are not the regular weekly settings. And so to finish the seed in these settings, he's got a fairy. I'm sorry. To finish the race, you need all 3 spiritual stones and then shadow and spirit medallions. So it's not the 6 medallions. It's the 3 stones and 2 medallions. So Spirit Temple is actually an optional dungeon, and we are looking for long shot. Press F for fairy.
Yep. Namaha forgetting he had a little fairy in a bottle, so that death warp not really working out. Oh well.
Can't even kill himself. That's rough. That's pretty funny though. That was a good reaction.
Yeah, and just one of the reasons why face cams were required for the tournament. We want to see all those funny ones.
Yeah, my reaction on my seed last night with Light Medallion Bongo having my go mode was pretty good too. So I enjoy going back and looking at those, and I'm sure Namaha will probably do the same with his VOD. See all the funny reactions when you're in the moment. It's a lot nicer to look back when you're done.
All right. Two more chests.
Not in GTG. Although, did he skip? I thought he skipped a chest in the maze.
He did. He skipped that 5-key chest.
Oh, right, because it had to be a key, because he checked everything else. So there's a key and toilet. Oh no, that's not true though. That's not true because there could be keys that are strike 2 locked. I think that's a mistake.
Too, yeah. Yeah. Better hope that's not the long shot.
That would be like the most catastrophic of catastrophes.
Yeah, you wouldn't go back in there without strength 2.
No.
Alright, but it's just 1 out of like 26 checks.
Yeah, but he has like so few outs now. Now that it's like it's not there. He's got Eponas and he's got the chance that he can cross for a Requiem here. But if this is Prelude on Requiem, then he's going to be basically just searching for Strength 2 as his only option. And he's not going to have an easy way to get back to Spirit.
Yeah, just shoot the sun. That's still my bet. But that'll make me want to see Gavaroni go into GTG.
Oh, it's there!
Oh, wow.
It's hard AD for long shot. Unbelievable.
Yeah, there she blows. At least Gavaroni's on the right track. But will he stop off for horseback archery? But with that, it is certainly Namaha's race to lose. Second place finisher in our tournament last year.
Good old AD for Epona's song. That's SGL in a nutshell. Like, let's be honest. Like, how many AD seeds did we have in the qualifiers? I feel like it was over 50%. It was a lot, and now we've got another Oops AD. Although at least this one they were nice enough to. Whoa, that's a 6 snipe. They were nice enough to lock all of GTG access behind Epona's song, so it wasn't quite as bad. Just imagine if there was like Requiem available somewhere early and people could have gone GTG out of logic without getting Eponas. That would be really cruel.
Yeah, the seed not pulling any punches. But with Morpha down, Namaha can now go inside Ganon's castle. Already has Ganon's boss key. So we're just looking for some bacon.
Yeah, this thing's going to wrap itself up pretty quick. That's one of the nice things of having a go mode water temple when you've already got the boss key. You just find that long shot and zip, zap, zoop, you're done.
But with Morpha down, the curse has been broken. Lake Hylia is refilling. Zor's domain very, very slowly thawing out. But can Gavaroni keep it close? Is he gonna go straight for that horseback archery? Is he going straight to Spirit Temple?
If I'm Gavaroni, I'm really just trying to play really hard into Strength 2 because this is basically his last location. He invested all the time into the Storms stuff and into child cleanup and came up pretty much empty except for Strength 2. So at this point, if Strength 2 doesn't have anything, then it's pretty much curtains anyway.
Oh no. He not dodging the valley foolish hint again.
That is true.
I guess it's been a long couple days.
I think he just realized it. He gave a little sigh. He's like, oh.
Whoopsie.
But yeah, Sponge, this has been a pretty exciting seed. We had the classic Oops AD for Epona song to get our Go Mode long shot on 1000 HBA. Despite that 1500 was hinted, they just decided to put the long shot on 1000 because this is SGL and you get 80 seeds in SGL.
Maybe we should get like a link to the past folks to run Zooter seeds and vice versa. I feel like something's got to change.
One thing that I admire about the link to the past randomizer is their seeds tend to top out at about 2 hours, I think, while ours can go the full 4 hours, and it can get pretty crazy. Also, that's a cool strat with bombs.
Yep, keeping it safe with such a low heart count.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even notice that. I thought he was just being swaggy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, unfortunately, Gavaroni not dodging GTG. So close, but so far away.
Yeah, I don't think Gav is gonna end up seeing that the long shot because I think Namaha is gonna finish before he makes it all the way over to HBA.
Alrighty, 2 hours, 38 minutes, and Namaha has reached the Dwarf. And you might be laughing, but Namaha actually has those light arrows.
Yeah, Ganondorf didn't really do a good job of hiding them this seed. Nice one cycle by Namaha. Really clean.
I think the light arrows were somewhere in Kakariko Village, or the
I
graveyard.
believe it was Adult Shooting Gallery, if I recall.
As the flames go up and Namaha stores that jump slash, Princess Zelda standing helplessly by. Here's Ganon. And the reason Namaha's storing that jump slash, because Ganon is gonna do that sliced sword away from him. The Master Sword actually doing more damage than the Big One Sword, which we never did find. Otherwise, you have to hit him with anything else, but a whole lot more. Phase 2 down. And get your GGs ready in the chat. And just like that, Namaha serving up some tasty bacon, taking home the first place prize.
Congratulations to Namaha. He's gonna, I believe, move to 1-0 in his group. Gavaroni will fall to 1-1, but not to despair for Gavaroni. Still pretty heavy favorite to advance from the group with the top 3 advancing. So I think we probably will be seeing Gavaroni again before this event is over in the bracket phase, and see some more good races out of these runners.
Absolutely. Don't count Gavaroni out just yet. But definitely congrats are in order for Namaha. Played a heck of a seed. Unfortunately, dealing with a little bit of technical difficulties early on, which is one reason we will have to go back and do a little confirming and whatnot. But yeah, we will hope to grab both these racers in the commentator's booth for a little bit of a post-race interview.
Unfortunately, I've been notified that we have to swap over to another crowd control run, and we will not be doing interviews, unfortunately. Well, now I'm being told that we do have time, so I don't know anything, just causing problems for the world. Maybe we do have time for an interview.
Yeah, looks like
we'll try to get him in here.
We have a bit. But crowd control, always super exciting. Get those gold bits in. Cause some mayhem. And there's Namaha. GG's, good sir. And Gavaroni, GG's.
GG. Hey there, GG.
So there, Namaha, I think, be the first to say what we're all thinking for the entire seed. You have an epic beard.
Why, thank you. I grew it myself.
All natural.
But take us through a little bit of the early part of your seed, as we missed it due to some technical difficulties.
Yes, sorry about that, by the way. I normally don't have those issues streaming with delay. I don't know what happened today. Anyway, so my opener took that bomb bag from Mido's and went into South Hyrule, and then into Gerudo Valley. Snagged the shield there, and then got the Gerudo Valley Baron hint immediately after. That was fun. Got some lake checks done, like set my scarecrow and stuff, and then decided to do adult from that point. Grabbed the weird egg, just went adult. My time of day was kind of off for 3-song because of the extra stuff in Hyrule Field that I did. So I just decided to go adult. Did some stuff in Kakariko. I almost went into Dodongo's Cavern at that point, but again, the time of day was something I wanted to keep. Because at that point it was close to nighttime and I wanted to do 3-song. So pretty much just after the Graveyard in Kakariko, went back Child, did my 3-song plus Deku Tree, and then went back adult to do some checks, and I think that's about where my recording picks up. But that's like 30 minutes of stuff.
Yeah.
Is lost in the nether.
Yeah, you were coming in into us right as Gavaroni, I think, was heading in to kill Dodongo. So
Okay, cool, yeah.
When did you jump into Shadow the first time and find that boomerang? That kind of threw us for a loop.
Yeah, that was quite a find. So we had that Sacred Forest Meadow hint. That was Way of the Hero, and we found both Nocturne and Din's there. Already had Magic as well, and the Hovers, so I was like, you know what? We're going into Shadow Temple. So I went actually really quite early, I think, in my my second adult section. Snagged that boomerang, just did the first 2 checks and then bailed. I didn't go any deeper at that point because I still didn't have the hook shot or a strength Not that you really need a strength in Shadow, but you know.
All right.
You definitely need the hook at least. The boomerang had me really suspicious, even though we had the Baron Jabu hint. Jabu having that forest medallion, and we hadn't found Zelda's Lullaby yet at that point, so I was kind of suspicious that was locked by that forest medallion. So not too long after my dip into Shadow, I ended up going back Child again to go turn in that letter and do Jabu.
So for me, the real crucial part of the seed was after you did ice and you got storms. Really, the whole map was opened up. You got that hook shot, and you elected to go for Shadow, while Gav went Child and did bottom of the well into a bunch of Child cleanup. And that ended up working out really well for you. I was just curious what made you choose Shadow over trying to go Child.
Yeah, I mean, we still had all the items pointing to Shadow, and it was a dense location. I didn't really want to go back Child because I'd already done the most important Child stuff at that point. Really, the only good Child thing left was bottom of the well. And without Prelude of Light, I always hate doing age transitions when I don't have Prelude because it just feels so slow going back and forth. Even if you have Serenade to get back to Castle a little quicker as Child, it still feels like something that you want to avoid if you can. So I just kind of put off all those Storms checks until I'd already done other things. And I was actually, my plan after Shadow was to go back and do bottom of the well and other Storms checks, but you know, that strength on Bongo kind of threw those plans away. Allowed me to finish up Forest Temple, and at that point, what did I do after Forest? Yeah, I just dipped Water Temple for the boss key, and all I needed at that point was Long Shot, so my options were go Deep Fire, go to Gerudo Training Grounds, or go back in time to do Storms checks, and I just happened to pick correctly there. Went to GTG first.
How did you feel going through GTG and getting nothing and worrying about, like, well, I did GTG against Baron, uh-oh.
I was really spooked coming out of GTG when I didn't find anything in there. Like, I was convinced at that point I was going to lose, honestly. And even when I picked up the Long Shot on horseback archery, I was like, you know what? If Gavaroni happened to check this before doing all of GTG, he just saved 10 minutes on me, so I could still be behind, you know. So I was pretty nervous going through the cleanup of the seed, even after finding Long Shot there.
Yeah, it was quite a great race, in my opinion. You guys were synced up going back into the Forest Temple, synced up going into the Water Temple with your boss key. But it's kind of interesting. So Namaha is going through the Shadow Temple, not getting anything, grabs that strength upgrade in probably less than 2 minutes. Gavaroni finds the In Logic strength upgrade in the Hyrule Castle Ferry.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the race time room after. Oh,
yeah,
that could have ruined me.
Spent a little too much time. Yeah, too much time with the child cleanup.
Kind of was just waiting to forfeit. I mean, it was almost guaranteed to be over unless strength 2 was required. So.
Well, it's interesting though, because had it not been on HBA, basically the only checks left were strength 2 locked. We had the silver blocks in GTG and then Spirit Temple. And if it ended up not being on HBA, it was probably like there or Wasteland, or you were actually going to probably pull back into the lead. So from the reach stream perspective, it was pretty exciting at the finish.
Yeah, I'm sure it can. That was just from my perspective. The moment I got the strength on Shadow, I think I wasn't on hot mic, but I think I said, "Are you kidding me, game?" Like, it was literally the worst thing for me to see there. I think. But.
Yeah.
A little bit of goofing, checking those hammer rocks on Gavaroni's side. Namaha skipping the well chest in the Forest Temple.
I was hoping no one was going to bring that up.
We also think you skipped a chest there in GTG that one locked behind 5 keys on the left side.
Yeah, that had a key in it though.
Sure.
How do you
I did
know?
skip it. It had it. I was counting keys. Oh, I was not thinking because of the silver block room. I wasn't counting. I should have opened it.
Yeah.
I was brain fried, dude. Oh
we were
my God.
scared
That
for
could have
you.
ruined me too. Yeah, that would have ruined me if it would have been there.
I didn't have the
What?
hint for him or
No,
there
Valley
was
is
one.
dead though.
Oh, that's right. It
Valley's
was
Baron.
Baron. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten at that point. Yeah.
2.5 hours in will do that to you.
Yeah.
But
I
I think
just checking
we
that hint was funny, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think we're getting the boot. We gotta set up for crowd control coming up here.
Cool.
Any final
Thanks for having
words?
us,
Of
guys.
course. Yeah, thanks to the racers.
Very sorry about the
Final
techie shoot.
thoughts.
Nah, thanks for coming again, and anyone who tracked, thanks, and thanks to Speed Gaming. Good luck in the rest of the tourney, Namaha.
Same to you, bud.
GG's.
Yeah,
See
looking
you in
forward
brackets,
to
probably.
some more.
Probably.
Yeah, looking forward to some more of that Group D.
Group of death.
Thankfully, 3 people get out. Would be a lot more of a group of death
Yep.
if only 2 people got out.
That's what I thought it was originally too.
But yeah, GG's. I'm out of
We
here.
will see where that. Yeah, we'll see where that takes us. Good luck to the runners going forward in the rest of this tournament. Remember, a whole lot going on, and we're gonna get out of here and let the crowd controllers do their duty. You know what to do, chat. Make some chaos rain.